That's not an ID, that's a Tinder profile. I was sitting around with some international friends and somehow we ended up comparing IDs, which is a thing that happens occasionally when people are from different countries. My Colombian friend pointed to a line on her cedula, that's what Colombian IDs are called, O positive, blood type, printed right on the card. Then she asked, what's on mine? No blood type. So the obvious follow-up questions. If you're in an accident and unconscious, how will the paramedics know? Do you even know your blood type? My blood type, my blood type, my blood type. What's my blood type? Racking my brain. I think I know that. A positive? I think. Am I positive about that? Not 100%. I look at my Texas driver's license and start reading it out loud. Address, okay. Height, Eye color, green. Eye color? I guess the paramedics will know who to donate my eyes to. He sure had nice green eyes. We know that because it says right here on his driver's license. That's when my friend threw out the whole Tinder line. And she's right. I've been to 50 countries. I live in Colombia. I'm still about as American as you can get. Born in Texas, worked in Hollywood. And years ago, I began keeping a running list of things that other countries figured out and we didn't. Small things. Things that seemed obvious the second you see them somewhere else. Welcome to the Ministry of the Obvious. Item number 1. Blood type on your ID. Let's stay on this ID thing for a second. Colombia puts your blood type on your ID. So does Brazil. So do the Philippines. So do several other countries I've spent time in. The logic is airtight. If you're in an accident, if you're unconscious, if the paramedics need to give you blood, they flip the card and they know. No guessing, no delay, no calling your emergency contact and hoping they remember. The US puts eye color on the license. And I've tried to construct a scenario where that would be useful in an emergency. And the best I've come up with is, if you lose an eye, I guess they'll know what color it was, for the records. Or maybe if you rob a bank, they can check you. Blood type. There's space on the card, costs nothing to add, could save your life. Duh. Item 2. Money that you can actually tell apart. Pull out your wallet if you're an American and grab a 5 and a 20. Same size, same green. The key difference is the number in the corner. That you gotta go looking for. Now, picture being blind, or 85 years old and bad lighting. Or me after an LA to New York red eye at 4 in the morning, trying to figure out how much I just gave the taxi driver. Every other major currency I've used, the pound, the euro, the Canadian dollar, the peso here in Colombia, different sizes, different colors, different everything. Somebody sat down and designed those bills purposefully. The choice they made in the US wasn't even really a choice at all, just green, same size. Good luck. Every time I come back from being abroad, it's one of the first things that hits me. I reach in my pocket and pull out a stack of identical green rectangles, and I feel like I'm playing with Monopoly money. Wait, no. Monopoly money even is different colors. Item 3, the bottle machine. Germany has machines in grocery stores. Regular grocery stores, not recycling centers, not special facilities, where you bring your empty bottles, feed them in, the machine hands you a receipt, cash back, right there. The first time I saw one, I stood and watched it, studied it like it was a magic trick. You just put the bottles in, it reads the barcode, calculates the deposit, gives you the money. No sorting, no bags of cans in your backseat floorboards for 6 months because you keep forgetting to take them somewhere. In the US, we have recycling, theoretically. In practice, most Americans just put bottles in the trash and feel a little bad about it, because doing it the other way is annoying enough so that it doesn't happen. Germany doesn't lecture you into recycling. They put a money machine in the grocery store. Item 4, trains that show up when they say they will. A specific moment in Zurich. I missed a train. My fault, I was slow. I got there 10 seconds after the doors closed. And I felt that thing you feel, the resignation, The, okay, when's the next one? The mental math. The constant kicking yourself because you realize you're going to be a little late for everything today. The next train was in, get this, 4 minutes. And guess when it showed up? In 4 minutes. Not 4 minutes and 1 second, 4 minutes. I guess that's why the Swiss are such good watchmakers. I know how that sounds. Japan runs trains to the minute, system-wide, across a country of 125 million people, in one of the most complex rail networks on Earth. Switzerland does it, Germany mostly does it, they're doing it at scale. Meanwhile, Amtrak, if it even goes where you're going, runs on time about half the time on a good day, across a country that was basically built around the railroad. We invented the Intercontinental Railroad. Then we just stopped caring about it. The ministry doesn't know exactly when that happened, but we would like to file a complaint. Item 5, mandatory vacation. I used to be proud of this. I worked in Hollywood. We produced features, developed projects, and the culture was you work. Weekends, evenings, you answer emails on Christmas and you don't complain about it because everyone else is doing the same thing and whoever stops first loses. Then I started spending real time in Europe and Latin America, and I noticed something. People left at a normal hour for multiple weeks a year. Not guilty, not sneaking out, not checking their phones at the beach. They just left because the law says they get a certain number of paid vacation days, and the culture backs it up. And everyone is healthier for it, physically, mentally, and they eat lunch and not at their desk. Amazing, right? France, 5 weeks minimum. Germany, the culture of efficient productivity, 6. The EU minimum across all member states is 4. In the United States, federal minimum paid vacation requirement, 0 days. Not low, 0. Your employer decides. An American hustle culture has spent years convincing you that wanting time off is a character flaw. I'm not asking the US to become France, but 0 is a strange number to land on. Item 6, the Swiss crosswalk standoff. Back to Zurich. Small one, but it's lodged in my brain. Zurich, I'm walking. I approach a crosswalk. Light's red, but I'm close. Not at the curb yet, maybe like 5 or 6 feet away. And a car stops. Just stops. I wasn't in the road, but I was near the road. In Switzerland, the law says you stop for a pedestrian who intends to cross, not who is crossing, who looks like they might be about to. So it doesn't become a game of human Frogger. I stood there confused for a second and waved the driver on, and then he waved me on. And we did this little standoff where both of us were being overly polite, which is sort of, I don't know, cultural comedy. But how about that? The legal threshold isn't they stepped off the curb, it's they looked like they were going to. The benefit of the doubt is built into the infrastructure. Item 7, Tap to Pay 2012. I watched a woman in China buy a bowl of noodles from a street vendor with her phone. No card reader. The vendor had a QR code strapped to the side of the cart. She scanned it, done. And that was not recently. China's entire economy runs essentially on mobile payments. Colombia is close to this also. Street food, taxis, markets, utility bills. The country skipped the credit card era entirely and went straight to digital wallets. And the result is that you can spend a few weeks there and never touch cash. A guy on the side of the road in a city you've maybe never even heard of has a better pay structure than a small business in Austin, Texas. The US got to contactless eventually, but we were late, we resisted it. And for years, if you tried to tap your card at an American checkout, the cashier looked at you like you're trying to pay with seashells. Item 8. The drug commercials. I land at LAX, still jet lagged, go visit my family, turn on the TV, just to veg out for a minute, relax. And within 4 minutes, I've been told to ask my doctor about a pill for restless leg syndrome. A pill for the side effects of another pill. And something called Zelgenolaz that comes with a list of side effects read by the man with the calmest voice on earth. May increase risk of death. Smiling actors playing croquet in a meadow saying may increase risk of death. When I grew up in the USA, I didn't even notice this. You don't notice the water you're swimming in. But after years of going back and forth, it still hits me fresh every time. And there's an irony in it. A country that spent over 40 years fighting a war on drugs also runs the only TV ads on the planet telling you to go get some. Here's the actual fact, not just my ministry rant. 2 countries on earth allow direct-to-consumer prescription advertising on television. The United States and New Zealand. What's going on, New Zealand? That's the whole list. Every other country looked at Ask Your Doctor About and said no. You don't see a single pill ad here in Colombia. You see arepas, cell phone plans, beer. Item 9, the checkout lane with no candy. Every American parent has lived through this. You survive the grocery store, the kid's been an angel, you get to the checkout line and there's a wall of candy at toddler eye level, perfectly positioned, trapping you in a prisoner's dilemma for 4 minutes, captive, waiting to pay. Do you think that's an accident? Obviously not. Someone designed it. Someone got paid to research the psychology of us and design something to get through it. It's called the impulse buy zone, and it's the most studied piece of real estate in retail. In Australia, some grocery stores have what they call a confectionery-free checkout aisle. No candy, no gum, no last-second sugar ambush, just a register. You pay for your groceries and you leave. No research grant required. Maybe one of those researchers finally had a toddler throw some tantrums and looked at the checkout line of bait and asked, what if one of them didn't have that? Put up a sign. The candy in tabloids is the version you see. American daily life is full of checkout lines. $1 more extracted at the exact moment you're too tired to say no. Once the ministry showed me one, I started seeing them in every store. Escape if you can. Item 10, the bidet. I'm just gonna say it. I didn't have a bidet in my bathroom when I was growing up. Almost no American does. We use paper, dry paper. We consider this normal and sufficient, and we've never questioned it. Because why would you question the thing you've done your whole life? Then you go somewhere, Japan obviously, and much of Europe, and there's a bidet, and you wonder, what is that? You get brave enough to try it, and you think, oh, this is what we should have been doing. It's cleaner, it uses less paper, it's better for people with certain health conditions. It's basically better in every measurable standard. The US doesn't have them, not standard, not by default, not in hotels, not in airports, not in offices. We have a $100 billion toilet paper industry, or I don't know if it's $100 billion. It's a lot. And zero cultural pressure to question it. So we keep doing the dry paper thing, alone in the world, confidently. The ministry files this under one thing: things that are self-evident the second you've tried the alternative, but that you'll never try if nobody tells you how amazing it is. Consider this your notification of amazingness. Trust me, I saved the most obvious one for last. Universal health care. Because maybe you already knew it was coming. Might not be as fun as the others, but it's certainly more important. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend it's as simple as a candy-free checkout lane. It's complicated, it's expensive, it's political. I get it. But here's the ministry version of the question. Stripped of politics for a second. In nearly every country I've spent real time in, Colombia, Germany, Spain, the UK, France, Japan, going to the doctor doesn't bankrupt you. Getting into an accident doesn't bankrupt you. Having a baby doesn't bankrupt you. These things are just medical events, not crisis. In the US, they could be both at the same time. And we've just decided that's acceptable, or even inevitable, for reasons this ministry still doesn't understand. That's it. That's the whole bit. This is episode 1 of the Ministry of the Obvious. I have enough stuff for an episode 2, but I want to hear yours. Do you live outside the US? Have you spent time in other countries? Have you noticed any of these things? What did you see that made you think, why don't we have this? It can be the smallest little thing or, a big system change. The ministry reviews all submissions. I'm Edward, a Texan living in Colombia. I'll see you next week. Oh, P.S. I looked it up. I was right, A positive. So at least it's on my YouTube channel. So please subscribe in case we ever need this info.